Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to hydrate and put together one of those homemade MREs that I made with freeze-dried Wholesalers food. Alright everybody, welcome back. So this is an MRE that I put together with freeze-dried Wholesalers food. And I call it an MRE, but it really isn't ready to eat. So I call it an MARE, a meal almost ready to eat, a mare. But it has some advantages and disadvantages. The obvious disadvantage, of course, would be that you have to find water and hydrate your food. But a big advantage would be you get to pick what you want. You don't need to lug around food you're never going to eat in an MRE that you haven't opened yet. You get to see what's in here, choose what you like, put in extra stuff, decide what you want to carry in it, and you're ready to go. Now, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because this went through winter and summer out here, and I want to see how it held up. I actually had to look up what I had in here because I forgot when I did the video packing it. But I wanted to see how it held up in the heat, because we get about, unfortunately this garage isn't air conditioned. So we get up into, 100 degrees easily through most of the summer in here. I have been looking into getting an AC unit, one of those standing ones that go out the window. I would just put one in the window over here on this side, but unfortunately the window slides this way and you can't put an air conditioner sideways. So anyway, it does get hot in here. That's the point. And this is why I wanted to test this and see how well something like this would hold up in my vehicle for, say, a summer. I have pulled pork in here, rice, some other stuff. We're not going to worry too much about the other components that are just kind of fillers and extras, because I really did that to give you guys an idea of what to put in your own little packed MRE type meals. But we are going to hydrate the main food here. So what I want to do is open it up and show you what's inside. Now, one of the good parts on this is I see that it actually did retain its vacuum. I'll cut this open. How did I get black duct tape on my scissors? Get out of there. And see just how well everything held up. So it seems that the vacuum seal stayed the whole time. Now let's take a look at the first things from freeze-dried Wholesalers, and that is the brown rice. And as you can tell, that is very well sealed up. We are going to hydrate that. And let's pull out, I'm going to pull out the rest of the stuff here. I have some seasoning. That isn't from freeze-dried Wholesalers. This is just a mix of my garlic and everything seasoning. Some nuts. I have one of these potty packs. We've got a fork and knife and all that stuff. I have some of these hot sauces and stuff from different places. These are very good to save. If you're into making your own meals and your own MRE type things, these are awesome to save. Any kind of ketchup packets, hot sauce packet. I have a different one in there too, that's sriracha chili sauce. Anything you can find, these are awesome to save. I usually save a few extras, stick them in my my bucket where I have all this. I do have, this looks like it went bad. See the cheese here? That's the cheese and the, what are these again? Beef jerky, okay? That I probably wouldn't eat, so that's not going to be packed into the next MRE. Because you can tell that did not hold up well. I'm really not going to even try to taste that because it doesn't look very appetizing. That's normally the color of cheddar cheese. This is kind of like a stale dead worm. So we're going to pitch that and know that we don't pack that next time. Now, these are freeze-dried taquitos. Okay, these are from freeze-dried Wholesalers. These things are amazing. Okay, they are really tasty. And how I hydrate them generally is I pour water down into the main ends of them. And let them sit, and then I wrap them up, kind of steam them. But in our case for this, we're not going to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is just use the bags, and that's why these bags are awesome. You can cut these bags open and just pour water in and let things hydrate. So we're going to hydrate them and heat them up a little bit. This is more of a kind of a Mexican meal that I got going on here with a little bit of beef, a little bit of pork and everything. So we're going to hydrate these and try them out. Okay, move this stuff back into the camera so you can see what we've got here. And of course I have my instant Folgers coffee. A couple of Propels. These are electrolyte beverage replenishers. I did pack a couple of these emergency purified drinking waters. I'm not going to use these in this video because they're expensive and I want to save them from when I actually need them. But I do have a couple of those in here. I have a couple of these little Porta wipes. Basically these are hand towels. You just put water on them and they blow up into full-size hand towels. And lastly, the last freeze-dried Wholesaler thing in here is the pulled pork. So, to hydrate this stuff, we're going to do it right in these bags. I'm just going to add water here and here, and a little bit of water in here. And we're going to let them sit for about 20 minutes and come back and heat them up and try them out. Alright, so I got everything out here that we're going to be hydrating and testing out. I'm going to open this up, and that did hold the vacuum seal perfectly. We're going to put a little water in here. Now, holding these up is going to be a little difficult. Holding them straight up once you have water in them. I'm probably going to lean them against the wall back there, or put them in something. I'll have to find something to do that with. But, you know, you can stick these between two rocks, whatever. If you're out in the elements. Alright, we're going to let that hydrate, and I'm going to stick it back. Well, now, you know what, that's not going to work. We're going to stick it in. I brought out something just in case I thought I'd need it, and I will need it. So, we're going to stick it in this Swedish mess kit here. Like this. There we go. And we'll just stack them in here. You really don't need to stack this anywhere, you know, all that important, but we'll just stick it in there for now. And there. Now we're going to try the pulled pork. Hydrate that up. And the vacuum seal was impeccable on that one as well. Absolutely perfect. No issues. Still smells good. Let's put a little water in there. Another thing with the pulled pork and the smaller freeze-dried stuff like this is I find that you can hydrate it once it's barely hydrated, you know, almost there. Maybe the bigger chunks are a little hard still. You can stick this in heat, and we're going to be heating this up, of course. You can heat it up with a little bit of water in the pan, and it will finish the job. So it won't be any problem at all to hydrate that. Plus, they hydrate the meats from them. The meats from freeze-dried wholesalers hydrate rather quickly. Now, this one's going to be a bit of a challenge to stand up on its end, but hey, I may even put it in a cup just to give it a little advantage. And altogether, a little bit flaky. They will break up when you seal these. You know, there's nothing wrong with them. They'll crunch up like that. And in the future, there is some freeze-dried wholesaler food coming in the future that I can let you guys know that, you know, when you store it in a secure environment or a vacuum-sealed environment, you're going to get some crunching up in it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not bad. People tend to look at it and go, oh, it's damaged. Well, there's nothing really wrong with it. So, let's take these guys out. Since we're going to be using that new Stanley Cook kit that I got, this is the cup for it. So we're going to hydrate these, and I'll have to turn that big one around. I may break it in half. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just break it in half. We'll cheat a little there. All right, we'll fill that up with water, and I'll bring you guys back when that's all hydrated, and we can heat it all up and give it a try. All right, so I I drained out the taquitos, and they are a little messy, but they're good. They taste incredible. We're going to heat up the rice first. Whenever you're cooking a meal like this and you have rice, remember to do your rice first if you only have one burner. Rice is an awesome insulator. It will stay hot the longest out of all the other food that you're doing. So, let's turn on our stove here. There we go. Want a good little mid-range kind of heat there. I don't want to blow the whole thing out of the water. And we'll take our rice. If that spills, no big deal. Our rice is already hydrated. That's pretty cool. We're going to heat it up. And try not to burn my hand while doing it, huh? Try not to make a mess either. Anyway, we're going to heat that up. Just give it some heat and warm. Let me turn that back down. There we go. And see how it comes out. All right, fully hydrated, nice and soft, a little bit on the wet side, but that's okay. I'm going to let it sit while we're heating up the meat. We're going to use this 1 cup to put everything in, and that will just absorb itself in the rice. And that's why I tell you, you know, if you got to cook with one burner, and you only have one burner, always do your rice first, because that will hold the heat a whole lot better than say your meat or anything else. I'm even going to cover it. Now we're going to put the beef in. I'm going to wipe that out inside because it's got a ton of rice in it. Not that it isn't all going to go together, but there we go. We're going to put the pork, I'm sorry, not beef, pork in. And hydrate all that up and heat it up too. Now the pork I'll have to drain a little because there is a whole lot of liquid in there, but that's fine. No big deal. You can drain it out. And I'll bring you back when that's done. One thing I did want to do was season this. Remember, I packed up some of my mixed up seasoning here with a little bit of garlic and onions and a little bit of everything. And I am putting it in there with the water to kind of give it a little bit of a soup consistency. It's almost like a spice pack in a ramen soup. We're not going to go too crazy with it. I did pack a little bit too much in there. But, you know, do this and learn. You do it enough times, you'll learn the right way. Just mix it up. And as you can tell, it's still kind of soupy in there. It's nowhere near ready to finish up. But the stuff is almost fully hydrated. So we're going to give it a few more minutes and let it run. Then we'll mix it all together and make a nice little lunch for ourselves. All right, so that's all done. I just tasted a piece out of there. Now you'll notice it is pretty soupy. So I'm going to use the Stanley Cook Kit here to strain it a little. I'm just going to strain it in here. I don't want to get rid of all the liquid, but a little bit can't hurt. Okay. I'm going to put it on top of our rice here. So you still got a little bit of liquid in there. Not too bad. Okay. And, well, running out of space. Let's put a little hot sauce in there. And try out our concoction here. Mix that together. We got our little taquitos over there. Get another hot sauce, thanks to Taco Bell. There we go. All right, so let's see if this survived an entire summer in the heat. It looks like it did. Okay, and you can get this less soupy if you want. I'm just leaving the broth in there because I know it's going to take me a while to eat it, and it's going to get even more hydrated, but you can tell that's fully hydrated. That's good stuff. Just enough of the hot sauce with the pork and the brown rice. And I was really surprised. The brown rice held up. There wasn't any issues with it. If you are storing brown rice, be aware that even if you store it correctly, because it has some residual moisture in it, it will go bad before white rice. White rice will be good for 30 years packed the right way. Brown rice will tend to have a tendency to go rancid. So, just something to know about. Let me give you a quick look at the food. That is good stuff. And let's try out the taquitos. See, they're okay. They're just a little mushy. That is awesome. So, you got yourself an awesome hearty meal here. I'm not going to bother with making the coffee or anything else. The nuts, I'm pretty sure, are okay. I've had these salted nuts for a while now, and I've rotated them in and out of stuff, and I've eaten them before. And they're pretty cool. They'll work just fine. If you're interested, I do want to show you these. These are kind of cool. Have nothing to do with freeze-dried wholesalers, but they're kind of fun. So you can store freeze-dried food for a good long time, as long as you do it correctly. You notice the store-bought jerky and cheese did not work out. You know, that did not work out at all. That was that cheese was, I don't know about the jerky. The jerky might have been fine, but that cheese was nasty. I wasn't going to eat that. Looked like an orange cheese slug. There you go. So now you got a way to clean up your gear. You got your Stanley pot here. You can just wipe right up and clean it up inside. There you go. You know, you can wipe that up more, and you can wipe up your hands and get them nice and clean. And you got yourself an awesome lunch. So you do know now that with the freeze-dried wholesalers food, you can store it like I did in a vacuum-sealed environment in a very, very hot garage. We were over 100 degrees in here all summer long, and now that it's cooling off, I figured I want to give this a try. I think I packed this in February, so we had some cold days in here as well. So it can take the abuse easily of 6 months. And I did pack another one, and we are going to test that other one after a year. So that would probably be like February, March of next year. But so far, no problems whatsoever. And the freeze-dried wholesalers food is just top quality, good stuff. Can't beat it. So, if you're interested in doing this stuff, you'll look for the taquitos, the freeze-dried brown rice, and the freeze-dried pulled pork. This is all pre-cooked, so none of this has to be cooked. I basically warmed it up. That's what I like about this stuff, is you can choose. If you want to get the uncooked pork, you can get that. If you want to get the cooked pork, you can too. And if you click my link right underneath there, down below, you'll save 15% on anything you want from freeze-dried wholesalers. So I think it's really cool that I was able to put together an MRE, sort of, from that. And like I said in the intro of the video, you get to pick and choose what you want, and that's why it's cool to order all this stuff from him. And then if you're going to be putting together your bug out meals or emergency meals or maybe a car emergency meal, you can make it as big or small as you want. If you've got a family of 4, you can make this for 4 people and have 4 big bags of stuff. So very, very simple to put together and very economical compared to buying MREs. MREs will cost you an arm and a leg these days, whereas this stuff is cheaper. It's not cheap, but it is cheaper, and you get a lot longer distance from it too, and a lot of meals out of the bags. Anyway, folks, don't forget to check his link down below. You can click the link down there for freeze-dried wholesalers, and you will save 15% just for clicking my link. You don't have to do anything. If you go there in another browser and you look at the prices and then you click the link and go in another browser, you'll see the difference. It automatically will discount the prices for you as you're adding them to your cart. Don't forget to check out our Amazon affiliate store down below as well. We have everything that we review in the store. I even have these, and I will leave a link to these guys. I don't have that one in there yet, but I have everything else in there. So if you're interested in checking that out, you can check that out too. Don't forget to check out our My Patriot Supply link down below. That's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com, and our Thrive Life link as well. You can do the same with Thrive Life food, so check them out. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching today. I'm going to go eat some lunch and clean up my mess. Stay safe and stay prepared.